For young Arnold, life had always been full of boundless excitement. Happy dreams, frolicking on the beach with friends. He lived an idyllic life with his family on this paradise island. But on the day following the Christmas of 2004, all his dreams got washed away. At 6:30 in the morning, a vagary of nature in the form of a massive tidal wave ran through the island, crumbling homes and dreams, swallowing lives. When the waters receded, he had lost his home and his parents. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands were close to the epicenter of the earthquake that brought the tsunami. Thousands of families living in the islands of Hut Bay and Car Nicobar were rendered homeless.
During the tsunami, the life of the people were shattered. Everything was washed out at that time. We had no house, nothing was there. The government of India started making intermediate shelter here.
Temporary shelters were put up to accommodate them in large groups. But reconstructing their lives needed long-term solutions. The task of building permanent houses for thousands of families in these remote islands, with no connectivity and lack of basic infrastructure, looked insurmountable. But against many odds, one company decided to take on the challenge. Pandey Group is headquartered in Solapur, Maharashtra. Established in 1980 by a civil engineer, Mr. Anil Pandey, the group has established itself as a renowned and trusted name in construction, having executed several prestigious housing complexes, landmark commercial buildings and industrial plants, while carving a niche for itself as specialists in low-cost mass housing projects.
Now this is a very different type of project we have got, and which is a very challenging job as a logistic part of transportation all the material from mainland.
Port Blair is the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Pandey Group established a satellite project office here for efficient logistics, connectivity with mainland India and easy access to the islands. The project involved construction of nearly 1,000 houses in Hut Bay, 120 kilometers south of Port Blair, and around 4,000 houses in Car Nicobar, which is 250 kilometers away from Port Blair. This mass housing project was executed as a turnkey contract with Unity Infra Projects Limited, under the aegis of Central Public Works Department of Government of India. The project envisaged a pan-Indian operation. Materials were sourced from mainland India. Pandey Group deployed 3 large ocean-going cargo ships exclusively for transporting materials to the islands. An 8-hour voyage from Port Blair brings us to the island of Hut Bay, also called Little Andaman. The permanent shelters here were planned at a higher plateau away from the seafront. A part of the forest had to be cleared for building the houses here.
Here is all structure in steel fabricated as well as timber planks. In starting there was problem to take the material up to work site. Road was under construction and due to heavy rains it was very difficult to get the material at site.
The voyage continues southwards for the next location. Another 10 hours through the night, crossing the highly turbulent 10-degree channel. The first rays of the morning sun bring the tropical island of Car Nicobar into view. Largely inhabited by the Nicobari tribes, the island bore testimony to the massive scale of destruction caused by the tsunami. For Pandey Group, the work involved building nearly 4,000 houses spread all around the island. It was a formidable task that called for reaching unreachable regions and people in difficult terrains, devoid of basic facilities and infrastructure. The houses to be built varied in sizes. A combination of single-family homes, double homes and quadruple homes had to be constructed to suit the varying requirements of tribal families.
In Car Nicobar, waves of the sea used to come and people have that fear. It is now designed totally for earthquake resistant.
For fast-track execution of multiple houses, Pandey Group employed a unique construction technique wherein houses are raised like assembling a car.
Over here, since the construction activity is being executed all over the island, we had to work more like a manufacturing factory rather than a civil engineering work. So this was our biggest challenge, to accept or to mold ourselves to a manufacturing unit. Then we started making the kits of all the things which we need in a house. If we need tiles, we had prepared a kit of 5 boxes. If we need screws, we had prepared a kit of 585 screws. So that at the site where the work is being executed, they just have to give the kit, and then further work was pretty much like assembling a car.
For the Pandey team, the first challenge was to create basic site facilities for executing the project. An abandoned school building which was damaged by the tsunami was repaired and used as the site office and the main stores. Some of the rooms were used for accommodating staff and workmen. For them, a strong commitment to the task far exceeded the comforts of life back in the homeland.
In Car Nicobar, you don't get anything. Even if you are out of nails, you have to wait until the next ship comes from Port Blair. So we had to exactly assess what kind of machinery we need. We needed hydras, we needed JCBs, then we needed screw driving machines, we needed self-tapping machines, then we needed cutting machines.
A VSAT connection was promptly installed to establish connectivity to the mainland. Visakhapatnam was identified as the mainland production hub for the easy availability of steel as well as its proximity to the port. A large 15-acre plot close to the Visakhapatnam steel plant was leased and a massive steel fabrication yard was set up. Quality-tested steel was sourced from Tata Steel and the Steel Authority of India. Large-scale mechanization ensured fast-track fabrication while achieving consistent high-quality standards. Fabricated components were sandblasted and then epoxy painted for protection against corrosion. Wooden panels for external walls, doors and windows were chemically treated and seasoned for their longer life, free from pests and termites.
That whole project was dependent on mainland Visakhapatnam. Around 18,000 metric ton are fabricated and sent to island. The schedule was only 450 days. So that itself was a very tight schedule to complete such a big job.
Once ready for shipment, the materials were carefully packed for seaworthiness and transferred by trailers to the Visakhapatnam port. At the port, the materials were loaded onto the assigned ship, which set sail for a week-long voyage to the Andamans.
Keeping the labor for permanent period, it is a very difficult task. So they go after 6 months and again they have to get new labor. So thousands of laborers are working here.
Port Blair is a main hub and a transition point for labours. The labours arrive through Kolkata or Chennai by ship. Then we have to accommodate them here. We have to see their documents have arrived first so that we can take the tribal passes. The tribal pass procedure is very tedious and takes 4 to 5 days. So after that the labours are then sent to respective islands.
At Car Nicobar, Material unloaded from the ship was transferred to a material yard. An erstwhile cinema hall was transformed into a workshop where doors, windows, wall panels and other materials were prepared. From here they were transported to each location for the required work. The first step was casting of RCC foundations. Fabricated steel columns were erected on the foundations. Side beams and roof beams were erected and bolted in place. The roof made of pre-coated corrosion-resistant sheets were installed one by one. The floor of the house at an elevation from the ground was made of seasoned wooden panels. External walls were made with wooden planks. Prefabricated weatherproof doors with frames and windows were then fixed on the house. In the kitchen, specially sourced fireproof aerocon panels made of cement composite were installed, complete with glazed tiles and stainless steel sink. Concealed electrical wiring and plumbing work was carried out in succession. Inside, the entire house, including ceiling and walls, were lined with processed bamboo mats to reduce heat and provide an aesthetic appeal. To encourage high standards of hygiene and sanitation, the toilet blocks were made with cement concrete and internally finished with glazed tiles. A double-access stairway, fabricated out of steel, provides easy access to the house. Glass panels were fixed onto the windows. The completed houses were given a final coat of paint. The water tank connected to a PVC pipe with a provision for rainwater harvesting. Work progressed. New houses came up in every village, bringing strength and consolation as the islands began to sport a new look. Life regained its charm for the survivors of tsunami. By July 2008, homes began to get ready for families to move in. At Hut Bay Island, the Lieutenant Governor of Andaman and Nicobar Islands handed over the first phase of completed houses to the beneficiaries. A large cluster of living spaces, complete with amenities such as water and electricity, were ready for occupation. In Car Nicobar, on the 26th December 2008, the Tsunami Memorial Day, the President of India, Her Excellency Pratibha Patil, formally inaugurated the first lot of new houses. Modern houses have come up in all the 15 villages of the island, built to blend in beautifully with nature, in harmony with the environment. For the Pandey team, it was an experience of truly daring the waves, a triumph of teamwork and determination, driven by a strong commitment and concern for the socio-economic progress of communities.
We have been sent to an exile for 2 years where we work on this project, return back with lots of technical experience, lots of confidence and back full of memories.
This project is milestone for us, and now we have the confidence of our all staff that we can do a project anywhere, not only in India but in the world.
Rebuilding homes in a ravaged landscape meant rebuilding communities, rebuilding shattered lives. These homes are symbols of a new hope, a testimony to the resilience of the human spirit. For young Arnold and many like him, it's time once again to dream of a better tomorrow.